on your chart, you can zoom out, kind of just review what's going on, right? I like to do that a lot. Probably you guys know that. Not do that. Let's not fix the code. Yeah, fix the code. It's the magic. Fix the code. It's the magic. All right, well, let's take a look what we got here. So here's your last 2 weeks, just to kind of reiterate what we talked about last night. This was that pretty wide range we had, right? And then you had the inside week. And today, I would say they went below the inside week and they did not go all the way down to where we are still anticipating them to go, right? So they broke the last week's low, which is 51. We had that marked on the chart yesterday, if you guys remember, with the dotted line here at 51.75. So we did gap down, right? And we held the gap. But other than that, I mean, they did have some sells. And our idea was yesterday is if we open above and lose the 2024 POC, do you guys recall I said we want to keep an eye on the volume and see how do we kind of show up at that POC. And when you look at this candle here, right, I would say it's probably the highest volume besides the one that we had at 330. So there was a lot of selling that happened there. So now ultimately, when you look at the price action, right, today, what needs to happen is ideally, right, that we want to reject this value area high of today, which is going to be somewhere around here, high the PVP. Everybody clear on the weekly. We did break the low. We did not break the basically the outside week here, which is at the top. Then you have this one here. So we're still in the range, basically building a 3-week range right now. Everybody following that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Trying to double click on this, but trading is taking its. Gonna remove some of the stuff. Okay, so now when you look at it, right? So the the 3-week developing value area low is sitting somewhere around 74. So this is not a bad level to potentially target if they decide to drop tomorrow, right? It's not a bad level to target. And the week prior to that, I guess the previous week low. Let me make sure we go on ETH on this one. It should be around 50.35, correct? So it is a 50.35. So if they decide to lose this 131, we had targeted 140, if you guys remember. If they lose that, they're probably going to developing value area low and then ultimately the 35. But when you look at the daily profiles today, what does this look like to you guys? Does this look like a
Lowercase b.
Okay, lowercase b, which indicates what?
Maybe a reversal.
Whenever you see a lowercase b, what does it tell you about the participants? So remember, right, the value here was not built. There was no value here, and they are quick to remove it. They're quick to move down, so therefore it could be a liquidation, right? If some of the longs got excited here, right, especially on the inside day when we were building on Thursday, well, they got liquidated, right? If that's the case, now we got to figure out next path, right? And what do you want to see if you're a bull tomorrow? If you want to see some recovery, what is it that you guys want to see here? That's ideal, but by the time they get there, right? I think the POC is at 42ish, 41. You're talking about right now? Crazy. Not yet, but we're getting there. We're about to get there, yeah. Either way, if you look at the daily profile here, is there anything that stands out to you guys here? Let me just kind of go.
Our single prints right below the
There's some
value high.
single prints, right? I mean, there is single prints here, which matches if you guys think about the initial balance. It's right where the initial balance happens to be, and it's also the halfback of today. So if you're gonna play any level, I would want them to clean up this, right? First, clean up these single prints right here, right? You have the halfback sitting there as well. And then of course that would mean in terms of value, what would that tell you if we, let's say, open here tomorrow and come back? This should be a pretty good long, most likely, right? I would look for a long here, especially, the Drew is saying that we're somewhere around here right now. If they do, go to POC and they reject and they give us this might not be a bad long to take here. I don't know what's going on in my
Shorty,
long.
does that look like a crowded pour low?
Bit of access
What is
here.
that?
Right?
Yeah, what is
Uh,
that?
there's just not enough sellers here. This is a ledge here.
Your mic cut out. What'd you say?
This is a ledge, means that this was an exhaustion on selling here. This here, you have 4
Okay.
TPOs below. It was a pretty nasty day in terms of like the way price action moved. I would say it wasn't the cleanest, right? I was expecting this bounce to happen a little bit sooner. I was expecting it to actually happen from here, and 30s, and then bounce, right? So ultimately, if they can hold this here, and you remember when you have a lowercase b profile, the value area high plays a big role. And the value area high on the volume profile is right where that level is that we are kind of after right now. So if you think about it, here's the blue line, value area high, or value area low. If we're able to hold above this level, guys, this is pretty big. They hold this, I would most likely target this 51. In between, you're going to have that 2024 POC prior week lows sitting here as well at this level. So targeting this, if you crack this, then you're going to most likely be interested to go all the way up here towards 306, and this is a tiny value, right? There's not a lot of points on that Thursday. So then typically what you can do is to find where you can play, not extend it, right? And you see right here at 294. So if they can reclaim this, then you have a nice 80% rule all the way to 363. This will be a fairly big level here at 297, 300. If they can get inside, then you're looking for exploration here, ultimately all the way to the upside here at 5402. But that's if we hold this level at cash open, the green zone that I highlighted. If we open tomorrow, right? Let's say we open above it as we are there right now, and our close is sitting right here. Say this is settle price. So if we open tomorrow, let's say here, right? What is most likely the scenario at open that you guys are going to see?
They covered.
Retest.
Peek above and fell?
Keep in mind that they're going to have to take those weak hands out and rebalance the inventory. So if they do, let's say if they go above and they give you this immediately at first, this might be a nice long here. And somebody asked, how do you know if you accept or reject levels ranges? Well, if we go above here and we immediately reject and go below this level, what is it telling you about this price level here?
And they're not accepting
Rejected.
that value up there.
Yeah, it's rejected. So you typically, in order for something to be accepted in value, you have to see 2 30-minute candles hold in that zone. That's a rule of thumb that you want 2 30-minute candles to be inside the value. So if you look here, so here they're accepting the value for now. You see how they stopped, the auction stopped, and they cracked and they proceeded to go higher. So, and here again, so you have 3 30-minute candles, including this one that closed inside. So right now they're accepting the price above this. If, let's say, the next candle they lose this, right? It could mean, a rejection, but this would be a nice long here. At 194, I would look for a long here. You're going to have a lot of emotional sellers somewhere in between here and here, right? There's going to be a lot of emotional selling here. So you might be surprised where you find them because those are all single prints here. that. I mean, the structure is not the strongest. I mean, when you look at this, this is all A period. I mean, it even goes up to here, guys. This is a pretty massive axis here. Call it 52.14. So clean up 195, go here, and then ultimately, you're looking to see probably here at 51. That'll be what I play, and I'm interested to see if they actually rejected this level at all. Oh, they're right there right now at the unfair high. So there's probably a chance that they're going to reject from here, guys. If anyone trading pajamas or whatever you guys are called, because what's the profile they're building for you right now?
The double distribution.
Yeah, it's definitely double distribution. So let's say they lose this level here. Let's say they lose that level right here. That's not a bad short, right? And you just have to put your stop loss somewhere around here. If you're scalping, you could go to 2-to-1, which is not bad for, I would say, overnight session. Or you could tighten it up and you get a little bit more, but I would probably do something like this and play this, right? Which is not a lot of points, but if you're scalping, this is not a bad scenario. Other possibilities, if they do this level, then most likely they're going to come back and refill this here, 5187. This is highly possible, probably at open tomorrow. I don't know about cash overnight session tonight. Okay. Does that make sense? Is everybody following so far? Any new members confused? Bears are still in control. You're framing down on a daily, right? We're progressing lower. So we built value inside here with the gap down. We rejected it. So now, if we want to reject the bottom value, Drew was very close. What is the ideal from like a couple of, 2-week scenario? What is the key level that bulls need to reclaim?
On 5200.
Rather
If
be
this was
getting
our
back and
last
forth.
week,
Prior
if this
week
is our
low.
last, prior week low is a really good start, guys. I mean, if you think about it, if this was our prior week low, which is here, and you see where that kind of corresponds to the prior week, right? Then this is the bottom distribution of it. So if it can get above inside here, and you see there's 1, 2 bounces, they tried to get inside, they got rejected, they got in, and then they struggled here. If they're able to get inside here, it might be a good scenario where they push it all the way up to the high end of this, to the extreme. So I would say intermediate level for bulls is to really reclaim that prior week low, which is 52.51. If they're able to, then you're trading in the top distribution, and you could use some fibs and figure out some stuff. So here's your range here. Higher. This. And the 50% of the whole range is right at the settle price. And it looks like they're going to reject it here for now. I wouldn't be shocked if they run this and potentially go here quickly. The green zone. Is everybody on the same page for tomorrow? Anyone confused?
No, I understand.
No, makes sense.
Yeah. So I would say, considering the earnings, I don't know who had earnings today. Does anyone have a quick update on any big boys had today? I think Tesla's tomorrow. Oh man. Oh, hopefully made money on it. Sounds like a heart attack for it. Thank you, later. It was a really good short. I mean, if you're gonna short anything, I think that was a short there. Yeah, that's pretty good so far. So we really need to lose this level right here, and then you go. They gotta close this ideally here the next 1 minute. Nice. Tesla here, it looks very interesting. I mean, I'm not gonna play it, of course, on earnings, but when you guys look at the daily here, it's pretty insane. And you'll have a lot of pressure on the downside here, and then you're accumulating in this zone, kind of like right here. So you're trying to find value here, right? And if you zoom out a little bit, right? This is just a small segment of what we've done in the past, I would say, a couple of years, right? Since 2020. And take a look where we are. Oh, so what do you guys think is highly probable here? Market's telling you something here fairly clear.
Wow, how did you draw that? RVP on your
There's a very high chance we're going to be at 167. And remember, that's the level I'm looking for shares. Slightly below that, like 155-ish, but this is where I'm looking. I want to get some shares in this little zone right here. So I'm pretty certain too, but I wouldn't be surprised if they trap some bulls. Go here and then next. We're gonna have to recall a lot of crap, right? So, yeah, I mean everything's pointing to 161 to kind of like 167-ish. But I would love to add some shares here long term. Who else has earnings? I believe Intel. So if you guys take a look at Intel, it actually looks very, very interesting. Uh, so you're talking about since August of last year, we've been in this range of 26 to 18. We had a hammer here, and now we're building, I guess, a nice little hammer here on the weekly so far. On a daily, it's also a hammer, right? I wouldn't be surprised if they do another run all the way up to here, and then if the earnings are good, they could actually potentially fill the gap, right? If the earnings are bad, then they have about, I believe, 16 something, or maybe. I think it was somewhere around 16. Thought it was 16.8 that I had somewhere around here. They would probably visit that, and then could be also sweeping this double bottom at 12. I wouldn't write that off either, which is $6 drop. Oh, be massive. Oh, Q's. ES has a monthly FSU. It's the second time in 12 years. Yeah. What did NVIDIA do? NVIDIA is holding that. This is a critical level for NVIDIA, the 9033. I haven't touched this in a while, but yeah, I mean, if NVIDIA wants to surprise and give a gift to all of us, right? So most likely it would need to go somewhere here in this range. I'm trying to get this POC here. So right here, somewhere around 45, which should be pretty good long. I don't know where AMD is. AMD is in our striking zone, so I don't know if anyone's buying here or yet, but this is not a bad level for it. keeping an eye on this one, guys, on Clorox. I don't know if you guys know, but last time we were able to scoop this to like 120s. I sold a lot of it here, so I'm looking to get back in. Drawing there, but see this one. Yeah, I'm glad I sold all of this. I don't have any shares of MM, but I'm looking to get back in. If they can offer me 75, I'll take it. Verizon has earnings this week, I believe. This was a short zone on Verizon, so most likely it's headed towards $38. Forward. God, this is the worst stock to trade. One of the worst stocks ever. I guess, well, that's it for me. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully it's a little bit better open and no gaps. I hate playing gaps. So let's see what they bring towards us. See how we handle it. See you guys.
Thank you. ES is
Rock,
at
did you get
Thank
out?
you. Thank
ES is at that single print.
Oh yeah, they're going for that. Yeah. They're going for, what is it, 220? Yeah. But I think it was, what was that? Maybe I'm thinking of a different level. Let me see here. I was up there somewhere, 317. I mixed it up, 217. There's a high chance we're gonna hit 241, guys. Once we crack this right here where they're at 220, there's a high chance they're gonna go push up. All right, guys. Hey, have a good night. See ya.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Shorty.